Morning, Bill here with the Metals Minute. Today is Wednesday, June 1st, 2022. Well, it's been a pretty good week for the metals. We have 3 of the 4 up in the last week. And we also have year-to-date, 3 of 4 are up. And even the worst performer so far year-to-date is higher than other categories. So higher than stocks, bonds, cryptocurrencies. Even the worst of the metals year to date is still leading the assets in terms of performance. Now the 1 year from 1 year ago, all the metals are lower. But in light of where things are now and looking year to date, the 1 week is kind of the last week's performance is typical of the entire year for 2022 so far. And the details are in the write-up, but even since writing that, the metals have moved higher since then as well. So keep an eye on that. Now we've had some interesting news yesterday. The U.S. Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, acknowledged on, I think it was CNN, was interviewing her, Wolf Blitzer, I believe is the reporter, and he asked her about inflation and showed quotes of a year ago and her saying that inflation is not likely to be an issue and it's manageable. And she acknowledged yesterday that she was wrong about that and that she didn't understand the impact of higher energy and higher food costs on average Americans and what effect those would have. So we appreciate someone acknowledging their mistake in terms of economic projections. But nevertheless, it is an issue we've been warning about for some time. And this is one of those cases where we were right, she was wrong, but we'd be better off if we were wrong and she had been right. But nevertheless, it is what it is, and we appreciate someone being an adult and being responsible to admit when their projections weren't right. And so inflation is an issue. And a recent survey done by 2 different companies indicates that even among the top earners, those in the top 5% of earners in the United States, specifically those earning $250,000 a year, which is over $20,000 a month, 1/3 of those people are saying that they are living paycheck to paycheck in the current environment. And that's with increased utility costs, increased housing costs, fuel costs, food costs. A lot of the household expenses have gone up. Now, if the top 5%, if 1/3 of them are living paycheck to paycheck, that doesn't have to mean that that's how everyone is living or that it impacts everyone the same way. We've long been an advocate for reducing debt and spending less than you make and a few other tips. And one of those things that we encourage people to do is to store a portion of their savings in precious metals. And those that are able to do that and just observe some of those basic simple life financial philosophies are in a much better position to weather the inflationary storms that are upon us today. So whether you have a high income or a low income, there are a lot of things that can be done to weather the current situation. And one of those involves keeping some of your savings in precious metals. And as we mentioned at the start of today's broadcast, metals are outperforming other asset classes year to date. And the past week is just an example, a small piece of what the whole year has looked like. And I believe will continue to be that way for the next few years to come. So it's certainly worth considering. And we appreciate you tuning in today. And Lord willing, we'll see you again on Friday. Thanks a lot. Have a good rest of your week.